So, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Windblade. And Windblade here is a intriguing figure, but is this the best Windblade they've ever made in the main line? Now, that is a strange question. There's actually been a couple Windblades throughout the years. This is the most recent one, obviously. And it also now has a repaint slash, I don't know if it's a really remold, I know the head's different, coming out that is Slipstream, which is very cool. And as far as it goes for Windblade here, her figures date back to, I actually think, 2014 or 15. I believe it's 14. It is the Generations line just before Combiner Wars happened. Windblade was a fan vote. They wanted a fembot with a sword that turned into a jet, and then we got Windblade out of it, and they basically started pushing her for a good bit. She had a bit of presence in the comics. She showed up in pretty much every TV show for a good bit, and then she just disappeared in the 2020s out of nowhere. She was in Cyberverse as well, I think, which I don't know, is that late 2010s or 2020s? I have no idea. I've never watched it. I've heard it's actually decent, but I've never watched it. And as far as it goes, this figure is based off of the Cyberverse design that I just mentioned, which is really strange. Now, does it encapsulate that character? I mean, it looks like it, but that character just looked like Windblade to me. And as far as it goes with her detailing-wise, she is the typical kind of fembot mold, but it isn't as bad this time. One thing I hate about fembots is they try to make them overly skinny and then give them a massive backpack. Oh no, I was wrong. She has a backpack. Is it as bad as a lot of others, such as the Chromia and Moonracer molds? Absolutely not. That isn't the worst backpack I have ever seen. The nice Energon blue is very good on the chest and on the arms and on the knees. I do like it on the knees especially. And I do like the face. The face paint, I should say. The sculpting's nice, but the paint is what really makes it with that nice gold and red. It looks really, really nice. And one thing I will kind of admit is a bit odd is the wings. I don't like that they're quite hollow. It's a little odd. You can take these fans if you wanted to have a full black fan or a silver fan. I prefer to have the silver fans. That's a personal thing, though, I guess. It's up to you. As far as the backpack goes, it's there. You can't really ignore it. It's pretty big, but it's not the worst you've ever seen, and it's the literal definition of a backpack. It is supposed to peg in, but I can't seem to get it to. There we go. So it is there, as far as it goes with the backpack. And for Windblade's accessories, she does come with 2 accessories, one of which being her sword, which looks pretty good. It is primarily translucent purple, but not at the same time, because this is clear. I don't know how that effect is, translated. I don't know how that works. But it is interesting. It's in flame this time. I like a kind of like she swung it and the energy is kind of disturbed. Usually it's this like perfect energy blade. At least the one that came with the Generations figure was, and most of the other ones. It's a little strange to see it be kind of like a flame effect type of thing. The sword can go onto the hip, but the thing with this one is it doesn't have a sheath. The original had a sheath, and I actually am one of the few people, because at the time a lot of people hated that Windblade. I like that Windblade a lot. I think that Windblade's pretty good. It does have its flaws, like it can't stand, but as far as it goes, it's a really cool-looking robot mode, and the jet mode's pretty neat, too. But I just wish that, like, maybe you could remove the hilt. It's a little much to ask, but they do it with Black Series sometimes. And there is one thing I have to say, which is they do include a second accessory, usually with Windblade, which is her little head fan here, which is removable. I almost missed it out of the box and almost threw away the box with the fan in it, and then I realized I'm missing the fan. And she can hold it. I mean, it exists as an item. Uses like a knife or something, I don't know. It's there. It stays on the back of her head pretty much the whole time. I don't usually remove it. Even on the original, I never really removed it. So it's always been there. But as far as it goes, that is really the accessories. And now for the articulation. Pretty decent. Ball joint in the head, can look up quite a bit, can look down. Back is a bit stopped. It's not very good. Forward, out. The shoulder pad does move a bit, as you can see. Swivel, a armband that doesn't go quite 90. It like stops at like 85. which is weird. The hands rotate as you'd expect. No downward, though. Unfortunate. No sword-wielding wrist. How tragic. A swivel at the waist, forward, back, outward. A knee joint that if you can kind of cheat it to get a double knee, kind of, it's ever so slightly, tilt forward and back, and a tilt inward. So basic articulation all around. Nothing special. But as far as it goes, that's really it for the robot mode. So let's do the transformation, which is pretty basic and easy. So starting off, we have this backpack here, which is, you know, it's a backpack. You're going to open it up, and you're going to fold out the cockpit sections and just fold it down like that. They could have been lazy with it and left it like that, which I feel like people would probably accept that. I don't mind it that much. It just basically means the figure doesn't transform as much. And one thing I will say that I would recommend is you gotta just get the head in here. That's one of the things. So get that up over there and then close it. Don't do what I just did. It's been a while since I transformed her, but it's not that hard of a transformation. So I don't really usually care too much about transforming ones unless it's like a kind of a mission of a transformation for her. Legs here, you're going to take them, and you're going to take these back flaps. They're going to fold up like so. The knees are going to go like that. Fold the feet in like so. And there is the little tail fin sections there on it, so just fold those out. Just do that, if I can get it. Too many hinges, and the feet are a little loose in comparison. Fold out the little tail wings. Take the arms and move them out of the way for the moment, and then fold in the wings. Fold those forward, and then her hands, tragically, like most Windblade figures, just peg onto the side, and that's Windblade's alternate form. Which looks alright, I guess. I mean, it's a good jet mode. I'd like it. But something weird about Windblade is over time her jet mode turned red. If you own the original Windblade figure, you would know that it's not a red jet, it's a black jet. The middle of it's red, but the majority of the jet is black, which I liked because it was like a complete color flip. Her robot mode was fully red, and then it would turn into a black jet. I loved that. But that's since faded away since pretty much the second iteration, which was the RID version. It just never existed again, unfortunately, which I liked that thing. I love that figure. It sucks I got some glue on the sword because I tried putting this sheath, like, to make it go into the hip a little bit better because it wouldn't stay. So I put a little bit of glue and it went and it hit the blade a little bit, and it has a bit of a mark on it. It's not too bad, but that's besides the point. As far as it goes, you do have access to the stand port, so you can get flying positions with it. The little turbines here, as it is a VTOL, can flip around, as you've seen, so it's basically landed, and there is a landing gear. I should mention that as well. If I can get it out up here, I don't know. Which way does it go? It goes that way. I can't get it out. I can't get the landing gear out because my finger, you may have noticed it if you watched any of the earlier videos from when I started back, that I had like a black-blue fingernail. That's because I jammed my finger in the car door and it fell off. So I don't have my main fingernail. I have it on my left arm, but not my right, which is my dominant hand. So I can't get that down, unfortunately. It's there, though. It's like landing gear. It's usually tight to get out. Yeah, that's a little suspect. Pause. But this is a good jet mode nonetheless. And as far as it goes, let's just get to my final thoughts on her. So as far as she goes, I mean, she's pretty solid, but is she the best mainline Windblade? I mean, she certainly does look the part. She looks like Windblade, and I mean, as far as Cyberverse goes, I know it's supposed to be Cyberverse. Cyberverse, much like the Prime toys, has been shafted. There's the landing gear. See, that's why it won't come out. There's a peg in there. I don't know why they put a peg. That makes no sense. That just makes it unnecessarily hard to get that landing gear to fold out. But back to what I was saying on that. The Prime and Cyberverse toys seemingly got it rough. Like, they just don't want to do them correctly. They, like, keep doing them in, like, a G1-ish style every time. Then you got Animated, which came out of this completely fine. Like, they're just good. I know some people have issues with them, but I think they look pretty good. They're not exact, because the original Animated toys are exact. It's kind of hard to just go in and make a duplicate toy. That's my thing with that, is I'd rather have some different iterations of those same characters that look like them, but aren't the exact thing, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? They look like them, but they're not exact. It's like if they got put into the mainline, like, designs instead of the weird animated designs. But as far as it goes, this figure, other than being a Cyberverse toy, it looks great. There's no issues for it with me. There's not really much. She's kind of bland in spots, but as far as it goes, she's not the worst thing you could ever buy. Her transformation's nothing mind-blowing. Her robot mode, I do feel, it doesn't lack paint, but I feel like the wings needed something, you know? Like, there's such a big factor of her silhouette, and they just don't have anything, especially if you don't flip this around, you just have the black underside of the fan and not the front-facing, so you don't have the silver. I just feel like they needed some paint there. The backpack is iffy, but it's not like it really affects her. She has a good support system. She doesn't fall over unless you absolutely have to make her fall over. Like, it's nothing big. And I mean, she seems easy enough to get. My local Walmarts just recently got the Legacy United Wave 1, and then one of them decided, we're going to get Wave 2 like 2 weeks later. I'm not joking. I was like, why is there Shard now? Shard and Chromia were on the shelves after the Wave 1 just came out. I was very shocked by it. I was like, what? Did not expect it. But as far as it goes for a rating, I can't really give her anything super high. She's just kind of middle of the road. I'm going to give her a 3.5. Which is a perfectly good rating. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. It's equivalent of saying, what, 7 out of 10? Right? Am I right on that? I think so. If 3 is a 5, then, yeah, that's like a 7 or a 6, whatever it is. It's something along those lines. It's good, it's great, but is it the best? Not really. I like the original. I really like the original Windblade. I have to dig it out and find it, because I really like that design. I like this one, but it's not my favorite. Still. I still like the original one's design more. It was a little more unique, but besides the point, this will do if you need a Windblade. But that's really all for this review. This has been a review of Legacy United Windblade. This has been Ilfile Elite signing out.